Have you ever wondered who truly owns the most radiant beauty of this world? In this misty valley, a story begins under the golden morning sun. The air is thick with the scent of pine and earth as the first light of day dances gracefully across the sleeping landscape of the valley. There was a man who loved the light so much that his heart beat in rhythm with the sunbeams, his eyes sparkling with pure, unyielding admiration. But admiration soon turned into a secret desire. He wanted to capture this fleeting brilliance, to keep the sun's warmth trapped within his very own hands. He believed that by catching the first light, he could possess the essence of life itself, turning a momentary miracle into his own private, eternal treasure. Welcome to the journey of the Light Harvester, where we explore the heavy price of absolute possession and the shadows that follow a heart of greed. As days passed, his obsession grew. He no longer enjoyed the sunset, he feared it, chasing every final spark before the darkness could reclaim the sky. The peaceful valley became a hunting ground. He spent his hours in a frantic race, desperate to gather every golden thread of light for his collection. His home began to glow with an artificial brilliance. Thousands of bottles hummed with trapped energy, creating a sanctuary of light that felt increasingly cold and strange. He felt like a king of his own making. In this room, the sun never set, and he believed he had finally conquered the cycle of nature. Possession felt like power. He convinced himself that he alone was worthy of the light, while the world outside began to fade into a forgotten memory. His family watched from the shadows, their presence ignored. The very warmth he sought for himself was being stolen from those who loved him the most. He pushed them away, fearful they would take his light. To protect his hoard, he built walls of glass and silence, isolating himself in his brightness. Time became a series of measurements of how much light he could keep. The ticking clock echoed the heartbeat of a man losing his soul to greed. He believed that if he held every ray, he would own an immortal sun. But he forgot that a captured sun has no warmth for the heart. What happens when the thing you strive to possess is the very thing that begins to destroy your happiness and the world around you? Let's see. Outside the house, the price was being paid. The valley, once a paradise of light, began to wither and die in a permanent, cold twilight. Nature cannot survive in a vacuum of greed. Without the sun's touch, the flowers bowed their heads, surrendering to a darkness they didn't deserve to feel. The people of the village lived in fear and cold. Their smiles vanished as the rhythm of the day was broken by one man's selfish desire. The contrast was a silent scream, a house of blinding light surrounded by a world of suffocating darkness. One man's gain was the world's tragic loss. When you take the light of the world to brighten your own corner, you unknowingly extinguish the very hope that keeps your own spirit alive and warm. His wife could no longer recognize the man she loved. The light in his jars had replaced the light in his eyes, leaving a hollow shell behind. They left without a word, seeking a place where the sun still belonged to everyone. They chose the cold journey over the suffocating, lonely brilliance of his greed. He watched them go, but his hands were too full of glass to reach out and stop them. Absolute possession had led him to absolute loneliness. The silence in the house became deafening. The light didn't sing anymore, it only hissed with the sound of 1,000 stolen moments and broken dreams. He had all the light in the world, yet he was freezing. He discovered that light without love carries no warmth, only a harsh, sterile glare. In his quest to own everything, he had lost the only things that truly mattered. He was a king of ghosts in a palace of stolen fire. The realization hit him like a cold wave. His sun was dying. The light in the jars was not eternal. It was fading, just like his spirit. The fake sun was collapsing. Without the connection to the sky and the wind, the light became stagnant, losing its power to illuminate his hollow life. A sudden crash broke the silence. A jar fell, and for a brief second, a burst of true light filled the room before being swallowed by darkness. He tried to grab it, to shove it back into another bottle, but the light refused to be caught again. It preferred to die than to remain imprisoned. One by one, the jars began to fail. His kingdom of light was crumbling, leaving him with nothing but the sharp edges of his own mistakes. He looked out into the void he had created. There was no moon, no stars, only the vast, empty darkness that reflected the state of his soul. He wept for the son he had stolen, for the family he had driven away, and for the man he used to be when he simply admired beauty. Light is only beautiful when it is shared. When kept in a bottle, it becomes a cold fire that burns the heart but never warms the home. The final spark died. He was left in the dark he had worked so hard to keep away, finding that he was his own most terrifying shadow. In the total absence of light, he finally saw the truth. Possession is a prison, and the things we own often end up owning us instead. But this story isn't just about a man in a valley. Look around. Are we not all, in some way, becoming the new light harvesters today? We chase digital sunbeams, capturing every moment through a lens, busy documenting life that we forget to actually live and breathe in the present. We hoard likes, achievements, and virtual treasures, building our own artificial suns while the real warmth of human connection fades into the background noise. We build empires of possession, believing that more is better, only to find ourselves sitting in expensive rooms, feeling more isolated and alone than ever before. Is our modern pursuit of success and fame just another way of trapping light in a bottle? Are we sacrificing the community for our own personal glow? The man in our story decided to change. He realized that the only way to find the light again was to let go of everything he held. He began the long process of surrender. With a trembling hand, he opened the first jar, not to keep the light, but to finally set it free. It was a beautiful sight. The light didn't fly away from him, it flew back to where it belonged, joining the great balance of the world once more. He felt a weight lifting from his shoulders with every bottle he emptied. The more he gave away, the warmer he started to feel inside his heart. He was no longer a harvester. He was a messenger. He carried the light back to the earth, watching as the valley began to breathe once again. The darkness was retreating. The artificial sun was gone, replaced by the honest, generous dawn that belonged to every living thing in the misty valley. The true sun returned. It wasn't his sun, but it warmed him more than any bottle ever could. The cycle of life was restored by his surrender. He had nothing left in his jars, yet he felt richer than ever. He had learned that true abundance comes from being part of the whole. And then the greatest light of all returned. His family saw the change, the release of his greed, and they came back to share the morning. Happiness is not found in possession, but in the gratitude for what is already here. Open your heart and let the world's light shine through you. Stop capturing the rays and start being the warmth. The world is full of light when you stop trying to own it. Thank you for listening.